You've probably set big goals for yourself with a strong belief. This time, I'll make it. Maybe you decided to learn a new language, imagining yourself speaking fluently in a few months. But after a few weeks, you find yourself still, struggling with simple phrases, and eventually, you give up. Or perhaps you've stood in front of the mirror, promising to hit the gym and get your body in shape. You pictured seeing results in a month, but in reality, all you feel is exhaustion with no visible progress. And then, you quit. Then there are times when you set ambitious business goals, create grand plans for the future. But when you don't see results, you get discouraged and stop. Each time you ask yourself, am I lacking the ability? Do I have what it takes to succeed? But the truth is, you don't lack the ability. What you're missing is persistence. Persistence is what you need to turn those goals into reality. So the question is, can you keep going? Because success doesn't come from extraordinary talent. It comes from the ability to get back up after every setback and keep pushing forward. Today, I'm going to show you how to stay motivated so you don't give up halfway through. Make the decision right now. You won't quit. Now, I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to make a change today? Let's explore the strategies to keep that motivation going, to persist, and to move forward no matter the obstacles. Start now, because the answer lies within you. Are you ready to keep going? Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you can keep getting encouragement and tips to stay motivated on your journey to never give up. Remember, success doesn't come from starting, it comes from persisting until the end. Together, we can do this. Why do we often give up halfway? One of the most common reasons we give up is having unrealistically high expectations while the results come too slowly. When starting a new project or goal, we often imagine that results will come quickly and we will see clear changes in a short period of time. However, reality doesn't always work like that. Most changes, especially in areas like learning a new language, improving physical fitness, or building a business, take time to truly manifest. When we don't see immediate results, frustration begins to set in. And when our expectations are too high and we don't see progress, we often give up instead of persevering and recognizing the small but steady progress over the long term. Lack of discipline is another crucial factor. We often only act when we feel motivated, but motivation is something that fluctuates daily. Some days, you feel full of energy and determination, but other days, you feel tired and lack enthusiasm. If we only rely on emotions to drive our actions, we are easily prone to giving up when we don't feel inspired. To succeed, discipline is the key. It's the ability to keep working steadily even when motivation is low, to build habits and keep going even when you don't see immediate results. Without discipline, it's hard to develop the persistence needed to push through challenges. Another issue is comparing ourselves to others. It's easy to feel inadequate when we see someone else achieving the success we want. When you see someone else reaching their goals faster, you might wonder, why can't I do that? These thoughts lower your confidence and make you feel like you're not good enough to succeed. Comparison is the quickest path to disappointment. Everyone has their own journey, and everyone faces different challenges. You cannot measure your success based on what others are doing. What matters is focusing on your own process and progress, not comparing yourself to others. Finally, when we lack clear goals, we easily lose direction. If you don't know exactly what your goal is, or if your goal is too vague, you won't see any reason to keep going when things get tough. Without a clear path, the challenges will seem much more difficult. You can't know where you're going if you don't have a defined destination. Vague goals not only reduce motivation, but also make you feel like all the effort you're putting in is pointless. If you don't understand why you're doing something, and you don't have clear benchmarks to assess your progress, it's easy to give up when results don't show up right away. All of these reasons can be overcome if we understand that success is not an immediate event, but a long-term process. Realistic expectations. Self-discipline, focusing on your own journey, and clear goals are the essential elements that help us persevere and achieve what we desire. If you don't see results immediately, don't be quick to give up. Every small step gets you closer to your goal. Methods to help you not give up halfway. Method 1. Public commitment. You've probably set big goals for yourself before, but somehow you just couldn't keep the momentum going. So, how do you make sure you don't quit halfway? One simple but incredibly effective way is to make a public commitment to your goals. Imagine this. You tell your friends, family, or even your entire community about what you want to achieve. It might sound simple, but the impact is powerful. When you make your goal public, something invisible but incredibly strong happens. Positive pressure. That's right. You don't want to be seen as someone who isn't serious or reliable. And that, precisely, is what keeps you going. The feeling of being watched, of having others care about your progress, becomes a huge motivator. When you're tired and ready to give up, those words of encouragement from your friends or loved ones can give you a surge of energy. They'll remind you of why you started and the commitment you made. Sometimes, just a simple word of support is enough to keep you moving forward. Moreover, when you share your goals, you'll feel a greater sense of responsibility, not just to yourself, but to others. These public goals turn into a social contract that you can't easily back out of. This feeling doesn't just help you persevere, it helps you build habits, because you want to prove you can follow through on what you promised. And the best part is, when you make a public commitment, you open the door to a support network. You'll get help, valuable advice from others, and even find people who are ready to join you on your journey. Together, you'll keep pushing forward, even on the days when you feel like quitting. So, if you're struggling to stay motivated, try making a public commitment. Share your goal with those around you and watch the difference it makes. The commitment doesn't just come from within, it comes from everyone who cares about you. Don't hesitate, speak your goal out loud, and let the positive pressure guide you to success. Method 2. Break down your goals. Have you ever felt overwhelmed when looking at a big goal, wondering how on earth you'll ever accomplish it? That's a feeling we all experience when faced with grand dreams and ambitious plans. But here's a simple and incredibly effective secret to make sure you don't quit halfway. Break your goals down into smaller steps. Imagine you set a big goal, like learning a language in 6 months. Instead of thinking about becoming fluent in English, break it down into smaller, achievable steps. Learn 10 new words every day. Practice listening for 20 minutes every morning. Take a grammar quiz every week. Each small step you complete doesn't just give you a sense of progress, but it also fuels your motivation to keep going. Completing each part feels like adding another brick to the house of your success. And the best part, when you break your goals down, you don't feel pressure or anxiety about what you haven't done yet. You no longer have to face a huge mountain of tasks. You can simply focus on the next step. Every time you finish a small part, you'll feel like you're getting closer to the bigger goal, and that's the kind of motivation that keeps you moving forward. Breaking down your goals also gives you control over your progress. You can easily see how far you've come, and if something's not working, you can tweak your plan without feeling defeated. This keeps you feeling like you're always moving forward, even when obstacles arise. So next time you set a big goal, don't let it scare you. Break it down. Every small step you take gets you closer to success, and you'll see that with every part you complete, you're conquering a part of yourself. Method 3. Set a schedule. Don't let emotions decide. Have you ever noticed how your emotions can be the deciding factor in whether you get things done or not? Some days you wake up full of energy, ready to take on the world. Other days, the mere thought of getting started feels exhausting. But here's a powerful technique to make sure you stay on track, no matter how you're feeling. Set a schedule and don't let your emotions decide. Imagine this. You've set a goal to hit the gym, But instead of waiting for the perfect moment, when you're feeling motivated, you've scheduled your workouts for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, no matter what. Whether you're feeling tired, stressed, or just not in the mood, you show up. Why? Because it's on your schedule. And that's the key. When you create a set routine, you eliminate the need to make decisions every day. No more wondering, do I feel like doing this today? The answer is already clear. Yes, you do it because it's part of your plan. This simple commitment forces consistency and creates habits that don't rely on fleeting motivation. By setting a fixed schedule, you're also avoiding the trap of procrastination. Sure, you could skip today because you're not feeling it, but because you've planned ahead, you won't let that excuse control you. Even on days when motivation is low, you'll still go because it's on your calendar. And over time, those small actions taken consistently start to add up. You see, it's not about waiting for the right mood. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. And guess what? When you do this over and over again, it becomes less about motivation and more about routine. Your results won't come from how you feel, but from your commitment to the process. So next time you think about putting something off because you're not in the mood, remember, your schedule is in charge, not your emotions. Keep showing up, and you'll start to see progress you never thought possible. Method 4. Keep a progress journal. Have you ever felt like you're not making progress, even though you're putting in the effort? It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but here's a powerful technique to keep you on track. Keep a progress journal. The beauty of this method is that it allows you to see your growth over time. Each time you write down a step you've taken towards your goal, it reinforces the idea that you're moving forward, no matter how small that step may seem. When you look back at your journal, you'll realize just how far you've come. In those moments when you feel stuck or like you're not making any headway, your progress journal will be the proof that you've been moving forward all along. Writing down your progress doesn't just show you the distance you've traveled, it also gives you that sweet feeling of accomplishment. Each tiny victory you record becomes a moment of success. And those small wins? They're not just milestones. They're the fuel that keeps you going. You'll be surprised at how much motivation you gain from simply recognizing that you've done something, no matter how small. This practice also helps shift your focus from the outcome to the process. We often feel frustrated when we don't see immediate results, but by writing down every action you take, you start to appreciate the journey itself. You're building something, step by step, and the more you write, the more you'll realize that every effort counts. Not to mention, it keeps you accountable. When you write down your goals and the steps you've taken to reach them, you create a commitment. It's like having a mirror reflecting your efforts, reminding you that you're doing the work, even on the days when motivation feels like it's running low. So, next time you feel like giving up or that you're not making any progress, take a moment to write down everything you've achieved so far. It might just be the push you need to keep going. Remember, every small step counts. And when you look back at your progress, you'll see a path full of determination, growth, and success, one step at a time. Method 5. Reward yourself. Imagine you're on a long journey toward a big goal. The path feels endless, and sometimes it seems like the finish line is too far away. Here's where a powerful technique comes into play: rewarding yourself for every small milestone along the way. Every time you hit a goal, no matter how small, take a moment to reward yourself. It might seem simple, but this small act can work wonders for your motivation. When you complete a task, treat yourself to something you enjoy: a favorite meal, a new book, a relaxing moment. These rewards don't just feel good in the moment, they create a positive feedback loop. Each time you reward yourself, you're reinforcing your progress and reminding yourself that your efforts matter. This simple practice does more than just make you feel good. It fuels the journey ahead. It gives you something to look forward to, a reason to keep going. Without these little rewards, the process can feel like an uphill battle, and the bigger goal may seem too distant. But when you celebrate the small wins, the journey becomes enjoyable, not just the destination. And let's face it, working toward a goal can be exhausting, but by rewarding yourself, you create moments of joy and satisfaction along the way. These rewards recharge your energy, helping you push through when the path gets tough. They prevent burnout, remind you of how far you've come, and help you maintain the energy to keep going. So, whether you've just completed a week of consistent work or hit a minor milestone, give yourself a treat. Let it be your personal recognition for your dedication. Over time, this practice will transform your mindset, turning the journey into something rewarding in itself. Remember, success isn't just about reaching the end. It's about appreciating the steps you take along the way, and sometimes a little reward is all you need to keep moving forward. Inspiring story. Imagine this. J.K. Rowling, a single mother living on welfare, had just completed the first book of a story she believed in, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. But her dream of getting it published was rejected over 10 times. She was told it wasn't good enough, it wouldn't sell, and it would never succeed. Now most people would have packed it up and walked away. But not Rowling. She refused to give up. She kept submitting her manuscript, kept believing in the magic of her world. And eventually, one publisher took a chance on her, and the rest, as they say, is history. Today, Harry Potter is a global phenomenon, with books translated into dozens of languages, movies, and even an entire theme park. If Rowling had quit after the first rejection, or the 10th, the world would have never known the magic of Harry Potter. This story shows us that success isn't about being the most talented or the first to succeed. It's about the courage to keep going when everyone else tells you to quit. Because the ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to give up. Now, let's turn to another iconic story. The Beatles were rejected by multiple record labels in their early days. One label even told them, "Guitar groups are on the way out." Imagine how that must have felt. The world wasn't ready for them, but instead of throwing in the towel, the Beatles kept pushing forward, kept playing gigs, kept creating music, and then, one day, they got their big break with EMI. From there, they went on to become the most influential and successful band in history, changing the music industry forever. So, what's the lesson here? Just like J.K. Rowling, the Beatles weren't discouraged by rejection. They didn't let other people's opinions dictate their journey. They stayed true to their vision and kept moving forward, no matter how many doors were slammed in their faces. Both of these stories remind us that failure and rejection are not the end. They're just stepping stones on the way to success. The road may be hard, but if you keep going, if you refuse to give up, success will come. So, no matter what obstacles you're facing today, remember these two examples. The ones who succeed are the ones who keep going, even when it feels like the whole world is telling them no. If you're feeling discouraged, ready to give up, take a moment and ask yourself, can I keep going for one more week? One more month? Because sometimes all it takes is a little more patience, one more chance, and that's when you'll break through your limits. That could be the moment you achieve what you thought was impossible. Remember, no one succeeds without facing challenges, and no one achieves greatness without putting in the effort. You are the one who decides your journey. And I believe you can do it as long as you don't give up. So, what are you chasing? Share it with me in the comments below. I'm here to support you and walk this path with you. If this video has given you motivation, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Let your perseverance inspire others, and together, let's move towards success. Wishing you strength on your journey.